Just start inviting everybody. All right, yeah, we should be good. Should be live. All right. We're waiting on Damon. Is Damon in here? Where you at, Damon? Where you at? Not here. All right, hang on. Waiting on Damon Martin. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and tweet this out real quick. Probably should have had this ready to go. If we were real pros, would have planned this.
It's the first ever, so.
Go ahead and Lynch, go ahead and break down UFC 230 while we wait.
Sure. Let's talk about the main event. No. Yeah, it should be a good card. Mike, are you going to this one?
I am not. Okay. Too much going on here, so.
Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, good card. You know, this is what we call a time filler here. Looking forward to a bunch of fights here on the prelims. Brian Kelleher, Montel Jackson. That should be a good fight. Looking forward.
I like
to that
one.
Yeah. Kelleher needs to bounce back. Jackson needs to find a win too. He lost his debut, so that should be good. We got Shane Burgos, Kurt Holloway.
Love that fight.
Yeah, me too. Should be an interesting fight. Burgos had his 10-fight win streak snapped in his last fight, so now he's looking to bounce back. Holloway also looking to get in the win column as well. But let's talk more importantly about the main card here. We got some good fights here. Israel Adesanya, Derek Brunson. Doesn't get any better than that.
Man, I love that fight. You know, and again, it's funny because Israel Adesanya's last fight, it was all like, you know, is this too much too soon? Is this too much, too much too soon? And now we don't think it is. So now it's put up or shut up time for Israel Adesanya as opposed to, is this too big of a step for him? So he's already kind of established in a lot of people's minds. So that makes things even more interesting here. And Derek Brunson is probably really fired up right now. Israel Adesanya talked a lot of poo-poo. So that'll be fun. I don't know. I mean, this is my first time with the Flowsters, so I don't know.
Cursing is not only allowed, but it's encouraged. So we got the man himself, Damon Martin, just showed up. So we are officially, the 4 horsemen are here and ready to do some fantasy drafting. So ladies and gentlemen, this was all Mike Heck's idea. I'm taking no credit for it. I did help with the conceptualization of the rules and the layout and the format and everything, but this was all him. With the recent ONE Championship trade with the UFC's Demetrius Johnson going to ONE Championship in exchange for Ben Askren. Pretty awesome trade, side note. I'm pretty pumped about that. With that news, we decided let's just go full force into fantasy land for MMA and see what we can do. Play some fantasy MMA. Yes, it has been done. Yes, it's kind of like DraftKings, but our version is way better because we're using real fights from now until the end of the year. So any fight booked from now until January 1st, 2019 is fair game. We're going to draft little teams. We're going to draft little rosters, and we're about to kick off right now. I forget who has the first overall pick. Heck, do you remember who has that?
That would be Damon Martin.
All right, Damon Martin. Say some words and then present your pick. Let's get this thing rolling.
Well, so first off, I appreciate being here. Second off, I had no idea that we were. I guess I misunderstood how the draft was working necessarily. So I was making picks and trades on my own without actually going that far. So is there a chance I could defer to the next person so I could rearrange my selections a little bit here?
We're off to a beautiful start here, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, so here, let me explain. I did this twice. I had 2 different lists made. I had a list made already, and then this morning, Mike hits me up and says it's only going to be fighters who are fighting until the end of the year, and I was like, "Damn it!" So then I had to redo it, and now I'm realizing I did the wrong thing there. So let me defer to the second pick if possible, and go from there.
All right, we'll allow it. Our first trade, we haven't even had a draft pick yet, and we had a trade. So that's how fantasy sports should be, in my opinion. So second up, I believe, is Heck. So now he gets to pick any fighter for his squad. Just for a quick briefing, we're going to pick 1 fighter per weight class, 2 female fighters, because there just aren't enough female fights booked to fill out each individual division. So it's just going to be 2 female fighters, period, across any divisions, and then 1 male fighter from each division, plus 1 champion. So you can't just go through and picking all the champions that you think will be favorited. So we'll try to balance it out that way. Each roster will have one champion and then one person from each weight class and 2 females. So all that in mind, Mike Heck, the floor is yours. You get the #1 overall draft pick. Don't make it a bust.
Well, I mean, I think there's only one way you can go with the #1 pick, and it's got to be the returning John Jones. So John Jones is the first pick in the first ever FloCombat fantasy draft. And I got to tell you, I didn't expect this to land in my lap, but since he's here, I have to take him. I have no choice.
Oh, yeah, you can't be mad about that. You get John Jones, of course, fighting Alexander Gustafsson in a rematch at UFC 232. That's a really fun pick. I mean, that's who I would have taken with the first overall pick as well. Damon, you just missed John Jones. How do you feel about that?
I'm not feeling too good because, like I said, I misunderstood how we were doing the draft, so that's on me. So I failed to pick John Jones, so that's definitely on me. I guess with my second pick, based on who's available, even understanding the realm that we're in right now in terms of retirement, but of course I'm going to have to go with Daniel Cormier.
That's a good pick. That's a solid pick. So that is your champion pick, which is interesting with the John Jones pick. Something I didn't note. I guess he's not a champion pick, right? That's a weird sentence to say that John Jones isn't the champ. So that's kind of that's a doubly interesting pick because now you still get to pick a champion as well.
Well, are we doing like title fights? Like if you're in the title fight?
Title fight, you get a bonus point, right?
Oh, okay.
If you win the title fight. I thought we were just picking a max of 1 champion. We can do it that way. Let's do it that way. I think you're better. I think that's a better idea, Heck. Because
that's kind of how I thought.
Let's handicap you right off the bat so your team doesn't get too good. All right. So we got John Jones off the board. We got Daniel Cormier off the board. James Lynch, the floor is all yours.
I got to go with Chris Cyborg. That'll be my champion pick, and good luck picking other featherweights in the women's division.
Yeah. That's actually specifically why we had to change the rules to be 2 female fighters instead of 1 across each female division, because you just weren't going to have featherweights to choose from at a certain point. So we had to balance it out that way. We're going to keep things rolling. I wish Askren would get a fight book so I could pick him. He's going to wreck fools. I'm going to get crazy here. Listen, you don't win without taking risks, and I'm taking Mike Perry to knock out Donald Cerrone. So I'm taking Mike Perry right off the board for Denver. So the way the rules are structured also for people tuning in, we have it so that you get 1 point if your fighter wins his fight, but also 1 point if he wins via finish, so either submission or knockout. So it kind of pays to a degree to get people who you think are going to win by submission or knockout. So I'm going to take Mike Perry here, and then it comes back to me, actually, for a second pick since we're doing a snake draft, and I was the last pick. I am going to select Chris Weidman. Ooh. I think he bounces back. I know he's got his issues. He's got his health issues. He's got a tough fight with Jacare, and nobody really finishes him. But I think it's gonna pan out well for the New Yorker. All right, James Lynch, it's back to you.
I'm going to go heavyweight. I'm going to take Curtis Blades. I think he beats Ngannou in the rematch. And looking at heavyweight, there's not a lot of options as far as winnable fights for some of these guys. So give me Curtis Blades.
I like that. I like that pick. That's a really interesting pick. Just out of curiosity, Mike Heck, who do you think wins that Blades and Ngannou rematch?
I'm going with Blades, man. I mean, I just have to at this point. He's just on a tear right now. His wrestling game. You know, we kind of saw in the Miocic fight how that, the fight with Blades could play out, and I see something very similar, but you never know. This is a game of swings and ups and downs, so maybe Ngannou can get back on track, but until he does, I gotta ride Blades in that one.
I like it. I definitely agree with that, man. That's a solid call. Curtis Blades is looking really good. All right, man. It's up to you now. Heck.
Well, for
oh wait, it's Damon, I guess, since we bonked the order. Damon, my bad.
Well, because there's the limited amount of women's fighters out there, I'm going to have to go with Valentina Shevchenko as my second pick.
Nice.
Yeah, that's the one. I expected Lynch to stack that with Cyborg, so we would all have to choose from the rest of the women. Those are the 2 standouts, right? All right.
Like,
and since she's not a champion, that's like it's a little sideways into getting that pick.
Right. Good call. That's a good call. All right, Shevchenko is in. I don't know if you guys are using this Google sheet, but I'm filling in our picks as we go. Help you keep track
I'm
of
paying
it.
attention. Yep.
Cool. All right. Heck, how are you going to follow that?
Well, since we're going to kind of treat this like fantasy football, since Damon picked one of the few female fighters, I'm going to treat that like he just drafted a defense or a kicker. So when that happens, then we go on a little streak of those things. So with my second pick, I'm going to pick Raquel Pennington to fill one of my female spots, since I already have a champion. And Shevchenko was a great pick. Alimale McFarland is on my list, and I realize she's also a champion, so I cannot take her. And then my third round pick, for those who are here for the kickoff of this, we talked about him already. I'm going to pick Israel Adesanya.
I thought I was going to get it. Oh, I already got Weidman anyway. I should have taken Adesanya probably. That dude's an animal, man. He's got a tough matchup, though. I like that matchup with Brunson. I think Brunson's the kind of guy that you need to see Izzy beat to know if he's legit. Brunson is a great measuring stick. His wrestling could be a problem. Do any of y'all think that Brunson's going to get it done?
No, I like Adesanya in that one.
Adesanya's takedown defense is fantastic. So
it's good.
Going to have to, the first round is going to be super, super interesting to kind of really feel out how this fight's going to go. But I don't see Adesanya slowing down here.
Yeah, I agree with that. We're going to keep it moving along. Damon, you got another pick queued up?
I'm going to move down to the lightweight division, and I'm going to go with Michael Chandler.
Ooh, I like that one. Of course, a big rematch with Lynch's boy. Lynch likes old Brent Primus. So that's fun.
Hold on a second. Wouldn't that be considered a title fight?
Good call. That is a title fight.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We switched. So you switched the rules right in the middle of this thing.
We're switching everything. You know how we do it. We don't know what the hell we're doing.
Well, I mean, we could always pick him as, Chandler would just be a normal, 1 point pick, without the title attached to it. I don't know. We're just changing the rules on the fly here. This is like playing Monopoly.
I'm happy to switch my pick. In that case, I'll go with since we're going to do the reaction to the last pick. I'm going to go with David Branch because I think he's a solid pick to get past Jared Cannonier. If I'm going for points here, I think that's one guy I'm going to pick as a pretty solid win.
That's a good one. I like that. I like that a lot, Damon. You're a smart man. That's why they pay you the big bucks. I get it. I get it. All right, I'm going to try to rearrange these columns because it's all messed up. There we go. All right, now we're in correct draft order. This should be a little easier. All right, we got Lynch up now. Are you going to swoop in and get Chandler? Or you already got Cyborg. You can't have Chandler. Go for it, man.
So you're talking. So for the women's fight, can you pick a strawweight or no?
Yeah, you can pick a strawweight. You just can't pick. Well, Rose doesn't have a fight booked anyway, so you're good. Pick anybody. I'm
going to take Macy Barber. She's fighting Hannah Cyphers on the Denver card. I think she takes care of business in that one.
Yeah, that's a good fight. And do you know much about Cyphers, Lynch? Because when I
interviewed her. Yeah, she's got a bit of a layoff heading into this one. So, well, not too big of a layoff, but I just think the level of competition favors Macy. And I like that Macy's at Factory X right now training there. So I like her chances in that fight. I think she gets it done.
Awesome, man. Well, I get 2 picks now at the turn. And I've been too busy typing people in to figure out who I'm going to take. So give me 2 seconds here. I like this guy, man. I like Justin Willis a whole lot. He's got Mark Hunt. He's got a big fight with Mark Hunt. I think Mark Hunt is on the downswing. He's been old. Like Mark Hunt isn't getting old. He's been old and somehow is just defying time in that heavyweight division. But I think Justin Willis is getting it done. So I'm going to take him for my heavyweight. And then on the turn, man, I'm going to have to take Michael Chandler. I'm sorry, Damon, but I need a champion, and I think that's a great pick. I think that's the guy to take. So Michael Chandler gets it done. I will say, man, because we were at Lynch and I. Were you at Bellator NYC, their first fight, Heck or Damon?
I was not.
I was not either.
All right, well,
I was there. Yeah.
Yeah, we were there, and I got to say, like, Primus really surprised me in that fight, man. He looked good. You know, that the kicks were kind of fluky. The effect they had on Michael Chandler, of course, kind of fluky. But at the same time, when you've been training that technique and you notice that was something you could get Chandler with, I think he executed brilliantly. So if this pick flops, I'm not going to be super surprised, but I do expect Michael Chandler to bounce back and get it done. So that said, we move back to Lynch rounding out his squad.
So for I'm going to go in the lightweight division. I'm going to take Davey Ramos over John Gunther.
No llama magic. You don't see any llama magic happening?
No, I think Ramos. I mean, you look at Gunther's losses. A lot of them have been by submission, and Ramos is one of the best ground guys around. So I like his chances in that fight, and the odds makers do too. He's like a -600 right now, so I'll take him.
Totally fair. Totally fair. All right, who we got coming up? Heck. It's all you.
No, that's me. You
God
hit
damn
me
it.
again.
God damn it.
So now I want to make sure when this thing started, I was under the impression we could go UFC, Bellator, one. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going with for my lightweight pick. I'm going with Gary Tonin.
Oh, I love it.
Nice.
Whoa! Look at that. Out of nowhere. Oh shit! Gave him the heck.
That's a great pick.
That's a fun pick, man. You know we love some Gary Tonin over here at FloCombat, so that's our guy. Always excited to see where he's going to go. I mean,
a fun interview too. If you guys haven't interviewed him, he's a really fun interview.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Good pick. Out of nowhere. I like that. So Heck, how you going to follow it?
I don't even know. Like, I don't even want to draft anymore after that pick. I'm also going to go to lightweight division, and I'm going to take Luis Pena. I like Luis Pena. I like Violent Bob Ross. So I'm gonna get him on there, and then to follow it up, I'm gonna pick my second female fighter, and it's gonna be Kat Zingano.
All right.
Fighting Megan Anderson. So those are my picks.
I like it. Two solid picks. Obviously, Violent Bob Ross and Kat, both fans of FloCombat will recognize both of them. A lot of interviews with both of them over the years. So good people, good people. Damon, how can you top a Gary Tonin pick? How are you going to do that?
The women are dwindling down, so I got to be honest. That's got to be where I'm picking. And Joe Rogan hasn't heard of her, but I have. Cesara Eubanks.
Whoa! That's interesting. I like that pick, man. I do. I think she gets.
I mean, she mauled Roxanne on the show, and that was the Ultimate Fighter. And I like Roxy a lot, man. Roxy's a great person, but I think that's just a bad matchup for her.
Yeah. Do you think that Sijara could have beaten Shevchenko if that stayed?
I'll tell you this. I think she's the toughest matchup for Shevchenko in that division. I don't know that she would win that fight, but I think you need to watch Sijara Eubanks, man. She's a beast. I mean, she's really coming to her own training under Mark Henry now. I think I don't think she beats Shevchenko, but I think she's probably the toughest matchup for her.
Sure. I like it. That's great, man. Lynch.
I need a sec here. I was trying to think of some fights here. Just give me a second. Just consider this a dramatic pause.
I like it. We need to queue up. I need some Jeopardy music. Hang on.
Okay, I know who I'm going to take. I'm going to go in the welterweight division. I'm going to take Kamaru Usman over Rafael dos Anjos.
There it is. That's a good pick too. That's a good pick too. Can't say nothing bad about Usman. He's been spotless. So, all right, I got to get some women, man. You guys got the women rounded out, so I might go back to back here. I'm going to go Claudia Gadelha for my first one over Nina Ansaroff, and then I'm going to get crazy and go Joanna Champion and double up.
Whoa.
If I'm right, that means Damon's wrong, so this is going to be doubly good for me if it pans out. I still believe in her. I know she had her troubles with Valentina already in the past, but I still believe in Joanna Champion. I think that weight cut was devastating to her. I think she'll be much better at flyweight, so we'll see. We'll see how that plays out for me. Lynch? You got to follow me. You got to save my horrible pick now with a bounce back.
This one, it's a close fight, but I need a light heavyweight. I'm going Iri Latifi over Corey Anderson.
Beaston. No faith in Beaston. No, that's all. That's a tough pick too. That's kind of a toss up to me. Damon, let's keep them rolling. We can blow through these.
Man, I tell you what, I'm looking at the list now. I'm like, some of these picks are kind of some of these picks are coming up kind of dicey now. Now that I'm actually looking at some of these matchups and everything. Oh man, I think I'm gonna have to go. I have not picked a featherweight yet, so I think I'm gonna go with, and this is far from a number one. This is far from a sure thing, but I'm gonna go with Renato Moicano over Mirsad Bektic.
Damon.
Got him.
I was like, I'm gonna get such value on him right now. Oh man.
No one's picked a featherweight, and I can't take Max Holloway or Brian Ortega, so that was kind of like the next best thing.
Yep.
Nicely done. Nicely done.
Well done. That is nicely done. So, Heck, you want to get revenge for that pick? What you got?
Well, in the Hunter Homistek way of thinking, since he picked Mike Perry, and one of us have to win and one of us have to lose, I'm going to pick Donald Cowboy Cerrone as my welterweight selection. I think he's going to be super hungry, and he's got a chip on his shoulder with this whole Jackson Wink thing going on. And he's been hanging out in Boston lately, which is the city of champions. And has to rub off on him a little bit. And speaking of Boston, for my bantamweight selection, I'm going to choose Rob Font, who's welcoming Sergio Pettis to 135 pounds. So there you go. Did I take somebody's pick there?
No, just all this Boston talk got me puking in my mouth a little bit. That's all. Oh man, Damon.
Man, I tell you what, I gotta start looking at light heavyweight because boy, the options there are pretty thin. Oh man, my gut says go with Gustafson, but I can't pick him to beat John Jones, so I'm gonna go with King Mo Lawal.
Ooh, nice.
Look at that.
Going back down to fight Liam McGeary. I'm betting on him to work his wrestling against the submission guy.
Yep, I can definitely see that. You can never count King Mo out. He's got dynamite fists and some of the best wrestling, so you can't really mess with that. Lynch, follow it up.
All right, I'm gonna go to the featherweight division. I'm gonna take Juan Archuleta over Jeremy Spoon.
Ooh,
Bellator 210.
Juan Archuleta owns all the belts. His house must have like 400 belts in it. I love it. All right, you're right. The light heavyweights are getting so thin. I gotta snag one, and I think I found my guy with Tyson Pedro over Shogun. We know Shogun's getting kind of sad, so I'm gonna go ahead and take.
Shogun's getting sad.
It's getting kind of hard to watch the Shogun fights, but there's my first pick of the round. I got to follow it up. I'll take Mirsad Bektic. I'm going to do the same thing. And just keep playing off the opponents of people that you guys have picked. So either I'm going to win this or I'm going to lose this badly, and I'm okay with that. All right, Lynch. We got 3 people remaining on your roster. I'm going in the bantamweight division. I'm taking Pedro Munoz over Brian Caraway. There it is. No love for Brian Caraway. What are you, Misha Tate? Oh, sorry. Damon.
I'm starting to look at welterweight. Man, it's getting thin there in terms of who's available and who's actually left to fight. I can't pick RDA. I can't go that route. So I'm going to go a little deeper on the card. I'm going to go to Adelaide, Australia. I'm going to pick Tony Martin over Jake Madden.
That is a solid pick. You're getting all these deep sleepers. This guy paid for his analysis, like those fantasy guys. Fantasy football, when you end up paying for fantasy pros or whatever, the experts, he's been doing his good research. Heck, can you top the sleepers?
Oh man, I gotta pick a heavyweight. I'm gonna take Tai Tuivasa.
There it is.
That's a risky pick because he's fighting Junior Dos Santos, but I like Tai Tuivasa. I think there's, Team Heck's gonna be doing some shoeies.
We can only hope.
Let's see. I need a featherweight and a flyweight.
Are we doing flyweights? Do flyweights exist? Can we settle that?
Well, I mean, there's from what I saw, there's 4 flyweights that have fights booked.
Oh, geez.
And they're all good names, but we're all going to be against each other here. So okay. I'm gonna take Ben Nguyen, who's fighting Wilson Hayes. Okay.
Thank you for telling me who he was fighting, so I can pick him.
Is that to the point where we're at? We're like, who is this guy?
Yeah, like I didn't know he had that fight booked, but that's awesome.
Ray Borg's fighting Joseph Benavidez for those who need flyweights as well.
Okay, cool. Keep that in mind, fellas. We got Damon. You going
to that point? There's my pick, Joseph Benavidez.
All right, there it is.
And let's make things interesting. I'll take Ray Borg.
Gee, I wonder who Hunter's going to pick right now.
Hold on. I'm doing my quick research. Yeah, that's all I'm seeing. Oh, Oka Sasaki.
Oh, man, I forgot.
I'm taking my dude. My dude, Oka. I know they're hyped on him. So we'll see. We'll see if he can pan out. That would be fantastic. Now I got to make my last pick. I'm doing the best rapper in MMA, Brian Kelleher. So for my bantamweight, rounded out there. He fights coming up. I like Boom, man. He's got a good personality. I kind of hope he strings together some wins because he's a guy that the UFC, I feel like he has some star potential. Like he's a really interesting guy to me. So I like keeping my eye on Kelleher. That's kind of a biased pick. I kind of just want to see him win and do well, but I also think he will. So we'll see how that works out. So my team is complete. Now we just go back through the order, and you guys each got one left. So Lynch, you need a middleweight.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking at that right now.
While he's thinking, are we doing a flex pick?
Sure. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we can do a flex. So the flex pick for people who have never played fantasy sports is just any other fighter in any division. Do we include champions?
I
think we should. It's kind of devoid of champions right now. There's plenty to go around.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, will it count as like the extra point and such, or just like a normal pick?
Yeah, we'll play it full rules, no, because then you would obviously take a champion if it was. All right, no champions for your flex. glad we settled that.
I got to pick a middleweight. I'll take Gerald Meerschaert over Jack Hermanson.
All right. There it is. What video game did you play against him, Lynch?
It was Mario Kart.
That's what I thought. Who won?
I won the first game, and then we didn't film the second one, but Gerald beat me. But I made a point of posting that he beat me. And he did like this cool pose where like he showed that he had clearly won.
Nice. Good stuff.
Yeah, I got Eric Anders in NFL Blitz in December. We're supposed to link that up. So
I love it. All right. Who we got? Damon needs a bantamweight, it looks like, and a flex.
I'm going to go with Tom Duquesnoy.
There it is.
Over Nathaniel Wood, and I'm still trying to figure out my flex pick. I know we also got to make those. So.
Yeah. Get it queued up. All right, Heck, you got 2. You got a featherweight and a flex left.
I'm going to take Jared Gordon as my featherweight.
All right.
And my flex is going to be in the light heavyweight division. I'm going to take Khalil Roundtree.
There it is.
Nice pick.
Coming off a big, somewhat unexpected win. So good on him. Interesting to see where he will go from here. Damon, you got the flex left.
My flex pick is going to be Kevin Lee over Ali Kenta.
Hey. The Phenom.
That's a good flex pick right there. Imagine.
That's a strong flex. That's Kevin, like
flex player. Good lord.
Yeah, that's like having James Conner in your flex.
My flex pick is going to be the sister of someone who's already on here, Antonina Shevchenko over Alshak.
Good stuff. I was eyeing her up as well.
I'm sure you were.
Nice, Lynch. All right, I just need a flex, and who we got coming up? Who do we got coming up? I like it. I believe in the Reem. I'm taking Overeem for a knockout. Big bonus point potential there. I like Alistair to bounce back. He had a nice post today about feeling good and being ready to get back in there, and I buy all that hype. So I'm ready to roll with that. How do you guys feel about your teams? First reaction, Lynch, you look at your squad. What do you think here?
I see a winning squad here. You know, there's a few that are a little bit closer than I'd like, but I mean, this is, let's put it this way. If I was in a dark alley and I had this team around me, I wouldn't worry if anyone was going to rob me.
You shouldn't at all. But could you beat Damon's team? Damon, why would your team beat Lynch's team in a dark alley?
Well, listen, I got the power of the Oklahoma State wrestling team at the top with Daniel Cormier and Mo Lawal. And I got submission specialists with Branch and Tonin, and then I just got some badass women down at the bottom with Valentina and Sajara Eubanks. I'm feeling good.
It's a good team. I got to say, everybody's team looks pretty solid right now, but heck, who is going to win it for you? Who is going to be the guy that gets you not only the win, but the win bonus with a finish for sure?
I say Khalil Roundtree will be in that flex position to put a stamp on it. And he's taking on a man by the name of Johnny Walker. So he's knocking out the scotch while he's at it. So I like Khalil Roundtree. I have a pretty solid team. I have enough veteran savvy plus a lot of young value on top of it. So I'm feeling pretty good about it.
It's good stuff, man. Well, I thank all you guys for joining us for the first FloCombat Fantasy Draft. And this was not just something we did for fun and are going to let go. We're going to actually track the points and keep you guys updated with who is winning. We're going to have to figure something out if there's injuries. I don't know if there's going to be a free agency pool and we can, you know, draft a replacement if somebody gets injured. But we will keep you guys up to date on that. But for now, we will post our squad shortly, and you guys can tell us who you think's going to win and why. And you can tell us why we suck so bad at picking fighters. And I look forward to that. So for James Lynch, Damon Martin, and Mike Heck, we are out of here.